It seems like King Charles is in the bad book once again. Not quite sure why, so I wanted to throw it open to you, and so I can explain exactly what we found out so far. As ever, let me explain. Lovely to see you today, and as ever, thank you so much for taking the time out to join me. Yes, what a beautiful visage behind me, isn't it? Spring has sprung definitely here in Hyde Park, no two ways about it. People are walking around in lighter clothes, people seem happier. Of course, I did venture up to the ice cream carton, as one does, you know. I'm glad, well, I'm sitting down now, as you can tell, because the prices skyrocket, don't they? You think, what? For an ice cream? I just can't bring myself to do it, can you? You just think, no, you could get a 4-pack of that in the supermarket, take it home. I know, better, yes, I know. Shouldn't be so tight with yourself. You should treat yourself from time to time, shouldn't you? Yeah. Always reminds me of that Les Dawson joke about when he said he was so poor, the barman used to let the drips off the beer mat so he could feel like he'd had a drink. I know, it's terrible when you think about it, isn't it? Back as ever to your royal story of the day. Now, it's interesting this because, as we know, His Majesty the King Charles III, has decided for the very first time to open the very private home, the last sort of private residence indeed of our wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. And it's those heartbreaking pictures that were taken there that really resonate with everybody around the world, because you do look at it and think, wow, it really did happen there. A lot of people said, of course, that Her Majesty the Queen was very happy to really spend her final moments there. It was a home that she truly loved. Now, you see, King Charles deciding to open Balmoral and indeed Buckingham Palace to the public. Well, we already know they opened Buckingham Palace, but they're now extending it to the East Wing, which means you get to see even more, the balcony, that sort of stuff. You don't go on the balcony, but you get to see it, you get the picture. But now a lot of people are criticising His Majesty the King, saying that this shows a complete lack of respect for the homes, the private home, in particular for Balmoral. Now, let's also just put this into perspective. There's 2 points here that I wanted to share with you, our chums and our community, because you'll understand. His Majesty the King is going through a rather difficult time, as we know, right now with his health. And, you know, really, let's cut him a little bit of slack. The reason why he's opening Balmoral for a short period of time, I've been told from good authority, is to pay for essentials, you know, maintenance. Big houses like that are forever crumbling down. No two ways about it, you know. If anybody's got a big house, you'll know what I mean. Roof always needs redoing, wiring, all of that sort of stuff. So this is obviously going to be used to fund that. Buckingham Palace, as ever, the money goes back into the refurbishment, which we know is millions. We get that. But of course, at least the money does go back into that and helping stage future exhibitions, which again is pivotal. The reason why the critics are out is simply because they said that everybody knows that Prince Charles was not a fan of Balmoral and much prefers Birkdale Hall, which is his other residence on the Balmoral estate. Yes, we know that. And not many of the royals, in fact, liked staying in Buckingham Palace because of the cramped conditions. I don't mean in the room size, but literally a lot of things don't work. Hence the reason there's such an extensive renovation programme, the biggest of its kind in 70 years. Maybe they'll enjoy going to live in that once it's refurbished. One can only hope. But for now, to criticise him and basically say, well, you know, he's just exploiting this because he has no affection for the homes, it's simply not the case. It's a matter of economics. And the bottom line is, all of these big houses, including royal palaces, need a lot of money. Some of it comes from us, some of it comes from them. And a lot of people think this is a good idea to open Balmoral and, of course, extended Buckingham Palace. What do you think, though? Is he right or wrong? Neil Sean, Hyde Park, London.